The Combank Paramatildas, in their quest to rule Asia and Oceania in the IFCPF side of things, have gone 4 from 4 in this competition, and if they can make it a perfect 5 from 5 tonight, they will hoist the cup aloft. They came so close at the most recent Women's World Cup, falling to the United States of America at the final hurdle, and if they can atone for that tonight and win in the final, they will have their first trophy as a team after forming only last year, right before the start of the Women's World Cup in Salou. The Paramatildas have been warmly received in their first tournament on home soil, and you would expect nothing less from a Victorian and an Australian crowd who have turned up again to try and will their girls in green and gold home. As Japan and Australia will make their way out onto the main pitch at the home of the Matildas, and this game meaning more than most. So many of these players from the Paramatildas had experience at the World Cup final last year and just about fell short. They'll be hoping to go one better in the regional side of things and win the Asia-Oceania Championships on home soil. As both teams cross the touchline, will go down to the pitch at the home of the Matildas, down to ground level, where we'll hear the national anthems of Japan and Australia, with Australia's anthem being sung by our very own Matthew Hearn, who will then join myself, Oliver Walker-Beale, in commentary.
We now invite those who are able to be upstanding for the national anthem of Japan to be performed by Saira Tori.
Kimi ga yo wa chiyo ni ya chiyo ni sazare ishi no iwa o tonarite koke no musumade.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now invite those who are able to remain standing for the national anthem of Australia to be performed by Matt Hearn.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Both teams finalise their preparations. And there is a shot of the officials. Japan getting one last team photo, and Australia about to do likewise. The Australian starting five is as follows. Number 6 is Caitlin Smith. Number 2, Nicole Christodoulou. Number 3, Talia Blanchard. Number 8, Anne-Marie Duriarty. And number 10 is Georgia Bykoff. That's 4 changes for the Australian side that face Nepal. The only remaining player from the match is Anne-Marie Duriarty in the number 8. As captains Caitlin Smith and May Ota exchange pennants. May Ota wearing the captain's armband for Japan tonight. Has 8 goals in her international career. In fact, make that 9 goals in her international career, with a couple of them coming against Australia. Including in the earlier game between them two in the group, as we can now welcome Matt Hernan's commentary before we do the starting five for Japan. Number 3, Miyabi Hamada. Number 2, Mayota. Number 4, Seki Kuroki. Number 5, Miko Kaiga. And number 6, Ayumi Takamura. Matt, well performed as always. Welcome to the gantry. What a massive night for Australian football this is.
Thanks, Ollie. Pleasure to be here. Yeah, very exciting for our girls tonight. Really hoping to see a big result here against Japan. Hopefully we can get up and give everyone an exciting game of football as well.
Of course, we've seen continental triumphs on home soil before. We saw the Men's Asian Cup back in 2015. Kelly Sturton looking to join Ange Postecoglou in leading an Australian side to regional glory on home soil. Will 2023 forever join 2015 in the history books? It will be Nicole Christodoulou by the looks of things to get us underway. And an expectant Australian crowd, a nervous Australian crowd is ready to try and will their team home. Good to see the men's squads as well for Japan and the Pararoos here. As the Japanese players are looking to get loud in the stands, looking to inspire their female counterparts on. Nicole Christodoulou, Australia's number 2. In cap number 10 for her to get Australia underway. And games don't really get much bigger than this. Australia and Japan moments away from Bundoora. A little bit of a hold up before we get ourselves going. Worth a mention that Japan have lost 6 games in their history, all 6 against Australia. A perfect played 6-1-6 record against Japan for the Paramatildas if they make it 7 from 7. Well, this place will go crazy. Nicole Christodoulou to get us underway. The hold up continues. Not exactly sure what's going on here. Maybe they're just waiting to 7 o'clock. Players getting ready early. So we're waiting for the clock to strike the hour, which it does, and we're away. Australia kick us off, looking for a result to bring home the Asia-Oceania Championships. Here's Bykoff, who's scored twice inside 30 seconds against Japan. Christodoulou out of play for a goal kick. And it doesn't look as though the dose will be repeated for a 3rd time, Matt.
Excited here, Ollie. Really excited about this. You'd think if any big chances are going to come today, it's going to come through Georgia Bykoff, number 10, holding down the centre of midfield in the centre of the park today. She certainly has an eye for goal, so we hope that she can net a few for us here.
Has 4 in the tournament, 2 braces against Japan in the 2 group stage clashes that these two countries have had in the women's competition. Thrown in short towards Duriati, well marshalled over the byline by Mayota, who scored in the 4-2 loss for Japan earlier in the tournament. Answered Georgia Bykoff's 10-second goal very quickly, and it was a great goal too, as Japan looked to play out from the back. Duriati for Nicole Christodoulou, who played it back for Anne-Marie Duriati, looked to shoot, blocked en route, Bykoff, charged down by Miyuko Kaiga. Australia building inside a minute and a half. Bykoff high and wide. Behind for a Japan goal kick to be taken by Miyabi Himada, who has 7 international goals for Japan, second only to Mayota in Japan's history, and she's in goal. There's down the right, out of play off Talia Blanchard. Takemura to move in field. Duriati stepping in. Blanchard, Christodoulou, and Georgia Bykoff, who looked to hit one, well blocked by Saki Kuroki. Takemura looking to get clear of Blanchard. Out of play for an Australia ball in, left out of play off Japan's number 6. So we see a replay from the Georgia Bykoff effort straight off the face of Saki Kuroki, who looks absolutely unnerved by it. Ota all the way through to Caitlin Smith, who resumes in goal for Australia. First time since the opening game against Japan, all the way back on Saturday since she started in goal, as that one drifts harmlessly wide from a Japanese point of view. Good to see Caitlin Smith back, Matt.
Absolutely, absolutely. Caitlin Smith is a tremendous talent between the sticks for us. I've spent a fair amount of time playing on teams and playing against teams with Caitlin in goals, and she's certainly a trusty pair of hands back there. So the Paramatildas are certainly in very safe hands with Caitlin back in goals for us.
And she's capable of scoring goals too. Has 5 in her international career, though not all of those were while she had the gloves on. Turning towards Blanchard, who prodded it back for Caitlin Smith. Now Bykoff. Well played from Takemura. Out of play for another Australia ball. Georgia Bykoff's record is simply remarkable. 21 goals in her previous 10 games for Australia. That throw unable to find anyone in green and gold. And another Japan goal kick on the way with just over 4 minutes gone. Takemura, on the right side of Blanchard. Turning towards the middle. Duriati will have to try and help away. Clearance blocked. Chance here for Japan. Takemura couldn't get a whole lot on the shot when it looked as though Australia were in trouble. Smith towards Bykoff, who looked to prod it central for Christodoulou, who was running forwards. Good bit of Japan defending. It will be Australia to have it in again. Bykoff throwing in long. Hamada initially dropping the ball, but able to claim at the second time of asking. Very cagey opening 5 and a bit minutes, which is probably fair given it's a final. Osa down the line, Kaiga, and Caitlin Smith will watch that go. Smith, long for Christodoulou on the Australia left, who couldn't quite control as seamlessly as she would have liked. Nicole Christodoulou made her international debut against the Netherlands in Australia's first match as the Paramatildas. And both sides, Matt, trying to get a sense of what the other's all about, even though they've played twice already in this tournament.
Yeah, very much so. It looked to be a little bit of nerves out there, Ollie. I'd really like to see the Paramatildas in particular really taking our time on the ball to really string some passes together and sort of maintain possession and hopefully string some together in the attacking third as Georgia goes through on goal here.
And a shot parried by Hamada, who got over the top of the ball before Christodoulou could latch on. The Japanese men's players really getting into this one and let's help their team over the line. Takamura away from Blanchard. Saved by Smith. First save she's had to make and she made it well. Kayuga. Was she fouled by Blanchard? Officials thought not, and the ball will go through to Hamada.
Let's go, Tillies. Let's go. 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 Let's go, Tillies.
Takamura, atmosphere building here in Bundoora. Bike off with the challenge. Takamura, rolling bike off. Takamura! Off the side netting and out. Australia coming close on a couple of occasions to conceding first here, Matt.
I tell you what, Ollie, that was a little bit closer than we would have liked, and you saw just earlier with Caitlin Smith having to make a save there. There've been a couple of opportunities where Japan have been through one-on-one with the goalkeeper here, and if we can't contain the attack from Japan, we could be in a little bit of danger. I'd really like to see us pushing the ball forward and really sort of trying to get in behind Japan's defence and challenge the goalkeeper from a little bit closer to net than what we've done previously.
Ayumi Takamura, one of the two players for Japan to score against Australia in these championships, the other Mayota. That game was on Tuesday, the 4-2 loss for Japan. Here's Blanchard, who lifted one, went wide in the end. Got a fair bit of height on it, but not quite the accuracy. Blanchard selling Caitlin Smith short. Ayumi Takamura almost stealing in. And it really feels like Australian nerves are not just present in the stands, but also out there on the pitch as well.
Caitlin Smith looks to be in a little bit of pain here, Ollie. It looked like she was going to go down before, but she's got back to her feet here. I think this is something that we should really be keeping an eye on in the next 5-10 minutes to see what happens there.
Duriati looking to get away from Kuroki. Still Anne-Marie Duriati, who elected to shoot and almost found the bottom corner. My word, it's unbelievable to think that Anne-Marie Duriati is just 15 years of age. With her best football ahead of her, she almost put Australia in front there. Blanchard in the right position. Over towards Anne-Marie Duriati, who will keep it in play, but not for as long as she would have wanted. Forward from Smith. She's done that a couple of times before in her career, scoring from goal kicks. And you will never, ever count Caitlin Smith out from there. Hamada rolling short. Ota. Bykov playing forward, and Georgia Bykov playing behind halfway for most of this game. We've hardly seen her get on the ball, Matt.
You wonder, Ollie, if they've stuck her back there to man Mark Takamura, who's been very dangerous for Japan and certainly very dangerous for us in attack in the early stages of this game. It might be a bit of a match-up call there from Kelly Sturton.
So it's elected to shoot. Bykov trying to help away. Blanchard getting it further clear. Letting the ball run, Takamura. Blanchard looking to make the challenge and did. And for an Australian team who usually score early, this is rather uncharted territory for them. Blanchard out of play, and again, Japan will have it in. Even when they've scored early, they've sometimes conceded a little bit later, but Australia very rarely in this position before. And due to the heat, it's been a boiling hot day in Melbourne today. We'll take a drink with half of the first half having gone, and we can really assess what we've seen as Georgia Bykov wants the crowd to lift. And to be fair, from a Paramatilda's point of view, the performance has lacked a little bit of spark that it never usually does.
Yeah, Ollie, we've looked a little bit unsettled on the ball. I can certainly understand the urgency to get goals and to get goals early and really put this one to bed nice and quick. But I think now that we're 13 and a half minutes into this first half, I think we really need to compose ourselves, to settle on the ball and try to build a steady and a confident attack. Really move around the Japanese defense and see if we can challenge the goalkeeper up nice and close.
I don't recall Miyabi Hamada having to make a serious save. Caitlin Smith has had a couple to make, namely from Ayumi Takamura, who has been, for mine, and I would be surprised if not for yours as well, the best player on the pitch so far.
Absolutely, she's looked very, very dangerous for this Japanese attack, and talking before about the potential of a Caitlin Smith injury, she looks all right at the moment, but if we were to lose her in the goal, Ollie, it'd be a big loss for the Paramatildas, particularly given just how dangerous Takamura has been.
Kylie Salmon is the backup goalkeeper. She's wearing green and gold at the moment, but could switch to that salmon-coloured shirt, absolutely, if needed. Rolled in from Kuroki, and to play for another Australian ball in. Turiati, nice bit of skill, through two. Looking for Christodoulou, couldn't quite get there. Bykov, she goes over. It will be brought back. Australia did maintain possession of the ball, but Australia not allowed to take any advantage that could have accrued from it. George Bykov back to her feet, and that's a good sign for all Australian fans in attendance. Caitlin Smith called forward to take, and you'd think she may well look to test Miyabi Hamada here. It's Caitlin Smith over the top. You could tell from a mile away she was going to shoot, but in the end, off target. And it's very useful to have someone like Caitlin Smith in goal for situations like that where she can just have a go from just back of halfway.
Absolutely, Ollie, and you know it means that there's always that opportunity there to catch the defense napping, to catch the goalkeeper napping as we come through here with a potential attack.
1-2 between Anne-Marie Dioriati and Nicole Christodoulou. Anne-Marie Dioriati unable to get it on target. Already in a young Paramatilda's career, it's 11 goals in 6 for Anne-Marie Dioriati. Hamada with the goal kick. Blanchard in the way. Christodoulou. Wyckoff and Smith will have to sort it out, and eventually Smith cleared. Left the goal vacant and unable to capitalise Miyuko Kaiega. And I think a lot of Australians may well have rocked up tonight thinking that this would be rather smooth sailing. It's been anything but in the opening 17 and a bit minutes. And with every passing second that it remains 0-0, Japan will feel more confident. Anne-Marie Dioriati looking to change the complexion of the game completely out of play from Mayota. As Hamada is able to claim the ball in. Takamura out of play for Australian ball in. As we move ever closer to half-time, Australia's substitutes have just had a warm-up. Dioriati had it taken away from her. Takamura away from Blanchard. Christodoulou back covering. And then able to win aside a throw. Kaiega headed away by Blanchard. Dioriati. One way then the other. Across for Bykoff after Christodoulou left it in towards the middle. Christodoulou unmarked. Anne-Marie Dioriati! So close to an Australia opener. And a crucial block in the end from Saki Kuroki to help it behind. And that's the closest Australia have come.
I'll tell you what, Ollie, Anne-Marie Dioriati certainly looked like the most likely of our goal scorers today. She's doing really, really well getting in behind defenders on the right-hand side of the park. I think good things are going to come if we continue to play through her for the remainder of this first half.
Christodoulou looking for Bykoff. Almost broke for Australia's number 8. Japan will help it clear through Mayota. Made her debut against Japan, did Anne-Marie Dioriati in September as part of the triple header Australia played in Osaka. Caitlin Smith towards the back post. Nicole Christodoulou almost with a very telling touch. Blanchard out of play. Takamura unlucky. Bykoff driving up and over halfway. It's Georgia Bykoff, parried by Hamada. Still not clear from a Japan point of view. Dioriati. And Japan eventually slide in. Could break for Nicole Christodoulou. Australia hit the front. It wasn't the best goal they've ever scored, but it might be the most important in the Paramatildas history. What a moment for Nicole Christodoulou, who puts Australia in front. As Anne-Marie Duriarty goes on, looking for a quick-fire second for Australia, couldn't find it. And there were nerves building up, and some of them have been alleviated somewhat. As we move towards half-time, Australia hit the front in a game that, up to that point, they hadn't played their best football in, but it doesn't matter when goals like that go in, Matt.
Ollie, I tell you what, I got chills just from sitting here and listening to the crowd reaction after that goal. I think this is the most exciting thing that's happened all tournament, perhaps. Absolutely huge, and you know, potentially against the run of play, with the Japanese having a lot of the more clear-cut offensive opportunities so far this half. It's such an important goal for us to score, and it means more to no one than Nicole Christodoulou. She absolutely lives and breathes the Paramatildas, and for her to tuck that one away, I think that's going to mean the absolute world to her and to her teammates.
And for all of Japan's brilliant defence so far in this first half, it's fair to say they let themselves down there, had ample opportunity to try and get the ball clear, couldn't do it, and when you've got a player like Nicole Christodoulou watching on, she will make you pay, and did. Australia corner on the way. Crowd looking to lift again. Bikoff going for goal, and in the end unable to find the back of the net. A couple of Australian fans thinking that had gone in. Always cruel when you see the net ripple from the wrong side and you think your team have scored. It's happened to everybody. Australia, of course, hit the front in the last major tournament final that they played against the USA. In the game that they ended up losing, they went 1-0 up from Eloise Northam, who's on the bench tonight for the Paramatildas. How they would love a different result than that game tonight inside the final minutes of the opening 25. Nicole Christodoulou, Duriarty, Blanchard up forward. Not quite. Oh, so 3 minutes of added time on the way. At the end of the first half. 3 minutes in a half of 25 is quite a long time. Still time for either side to score and change the direction of the halftime team talks. No matter which side scores, there would be a change if there is a goal to go in. Bikoff bringing it away. Anne-Marie Duriarty unable to get away from Takamura. She has it back though, Australia's number 8. Laterally for Georgia Bikoff. At the edge of the area. And you'd back her in from there to score, but she couldn't quite find the back of the net. Good play by Anne-Marie Duriarty though yet again.
Ollie, she's been exceptional, moving with the ball and distributing the ball in that front third of the pitch for the Paramatildas. Unfortunately there from Georgia Bikoff, you'd certainly back her to score from there, but exciting to see her moving more in that front third of the pitch.
Through to Caitlin Smith as Bykoff looked to let it run. Head up towards Anne-Marie Duarati. Christodoulou forward of the ball. That's where the ball goes. Nicole Christodoulou looking for a brace. And it's that combination again. Duarati and Christodoulou almost combining again. Blanchard winning it back for Australia. Rolling square, and Marie Duarati once and then twice. Couldn't make it two. Anne-Marie Duarati with the team on her very young shoulders. She's playing like someone who's been there and done it before as the ball bounces through to Caitlin Smith. Blanchard, Duarati with a bit of space, elected to shoot, it was blocked away. Blanchard for Georgia Bykoff. Good defending this by Japan, resolute. Good skill by Marie Duarati. Hasn't she had a half of football? In towards the middle. Australia's number 8 to pick up the pieces towards Bykoff. Blanchard looking to reload. That'll cross the byline. And Australia with the momentum right at the tail end of this first half. Hamada will play short, and that's half-time. Australia leading at the break, and Nicole Christodoulou with the goal that at the moment, if this result was to hold, would see Australia as regional champions. There is a long way to go, and Australia were well below their best for a lot of that first half, but if they can find their best with a 1-goal lead at the moment, you would back them in to see this through. But Japan have provided a stern test, the sternest test the Paramatildas have had, maybe outside of the fact they were behind at half-time last time they played Japan, but I feel like compared to that game, Japan have played some better football, Matt, and maybe you're a little bit unlucky to go into the break behind.
Oh yeah, I think they're certainly unlucky to go into the break with no goals on the board. Japan have been really dangerous and exciting in attack, particularly through their number 6 Takamura. Goalkeeper for Japan's also made a lot of really key saves. It's kept them in the game. It's been impressive to see. It's certainly a much more competitive game than maybe I thought it was going to be coming in, but I think it makes for a better and more exciting game of football. So looking forward to seeing what they can string together in the second period.
It's going to be a wonderful second half, whichever way it goes. Nicole Christodoulou with the goal that separates the two sides. 25 minutes between Australia and regional glory. And we'll be back with the second half. On the other side of this, you're watching the 2023 IFCPF Women's Asia-Oceania Championships final as part of SBS's coverage of the tournament. At the break, it's Australia 1, Japan 0.
A trusty pair of hands back there, so the...
We'll have to try and help away. Clearance blocked. Chance here for Japan, Takamura. Couldn't get a whole lot on the shot when it looked as though Australia were in trouble. To help their team over the line. Takamura away from Blanchard. Saved by Smith. Takamura rolling Bykoff. Takamura! Off the side netting and out. Blanchard selling Caitlin Smith short. Ayumi Takamura almost stealing in. And it really feels like Duarati, who elected to shoot and almost found the bottom corner. Forward from Smith.
There's a potential attack.
1-2 between Anne-Marie Duarati and Nicole Christodoulou. Anne-Marie Duarati unable to be more confident Anne-Marie Durata looking to change the complexion of the game completely. Out of play. Takamura out of play for Australia. Bykov after Christodoulou left it in towards the middle. Christodoulou unmarked. Anne-Marie Durata! Australia played in Osaka. Caitlin Smith towards the back post. Bykov driving up and over halfway. It's Georgia Bykov, parried by Hamada. Still not clear from a Japan point of view, Duriati. Over halfway. It's Georgia Bykov, parried by Hamada. Still not clear from a Japan point of view, Duriati. Japan eventually slide in. Good break for Nicole Christodoulou! Over halfway, it's Georgia Bykov, parried by Hamada. Still not clear from a Japan point of view, Duriati. Japan eventually slide in. Good break for Nicole Christodoulou! Over halfway, it's Georgia Bykov, parried by Hamada. Still not clear from a Japan point of view, Duriati. Japan eventually slide in. Good break for Nicole Christodoulou! Driving up and over halfway. It's Georgia Bykov, parried by Hamada. Still not clear from it. Away from Takamura. She has it back though, Australia's number 8. Laterally for Georgia Bykov. At the edge of the area. Towards Anne-Marie Durati. Christodoulou forward of the ball. That's where the ball goes. Nicole Christodoulou looking for a brace. Blanchard winning it back for Australia. Rolling square, Anne-Marie Duriati once and then twice. Been there and done it before as the ball bounces through to Caitlin Smith. Chard for Georgia Bykov. Good defending this by Japan, resolute. Good skill by Anne-Marie Duriati. Hasn't she had a half of football into the Paramatildas walk back out to a sky full of stars. It is the Paramatildas stars in green and gold who are 25 minutes away from completing history. They would make history if they were to hold out here. They lead by a goal to nil. Nicole Christodoulou, Nicole's goal for green and gold, separates Australia and Japan. The Paramatildas leading Japan by a goal to nil at half-time on the only game of day 7, the women's final at the 2023 IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships. Alongside myself, Oliver Walker-Peel, is Matt Hearn. And Matt, we were saying off air how Australia weren't at their best in the first half, or for large parts of it, but good sides find a way to win. And Australia have found a way to lead. They haven't won just yet, but they're in a good position.
Yeah, Ollie, we're in a really good spot here. Perhaps fortunate to go into the half a goal up. Obviously, Japan really unfortunate to have not scored a few as well. But you know, for us, we sit here quietly hoping that the Matildas are gonna pull through, and good to see them going into the half 1-0 up. Hopefully, a nice team talk from Coach Kelly Sturton, and we're going to come out in this second half and see some confident football, some attacking football, and hopefully pop a few more goals in.
Australia 25 minutes away. Stick with us here on SBS On Demand. It's going to be a very nervy 25 minutes. Kick your feet up, settle in, and get ready. As Japan kick us off, Caitlin Smith able to smother the shot from Saki Kuroki. And the second half of chaos is underway, Matt Hearn.
Very excited, Ollie. Very nervous, very excited. Really looking forward to this second period.
Able to claim Miyabi Hamada. And the number 3 for Japan is sent high and away up towards Takamura, who will give chase, but not even Ayumi Takamura, who was absolutely spectacular in the first half, can keep that in. It was Takamura for Japan, and it was Anne-Marie Duarati for Australia, who were going blow for blow. It's Australia who lead thanks to Nicole Christodoulou, but they're the two stars who've shone brightest in this game. It's played up towards Takamura. On the turn, taken away by Bykov. Nice nutmeg on Takamura. Dazzling from Georgia Bykov. Duarati, back for Georgia Bykov! Who finishes the move she started! And you just thought it would have been too much longer before Georgia Bykov had a say. How good was this? Combined with Anne-Marie Duarati, and Bykov fired home to make it 2 and put Australia right on the brink of history.
Ollie, she really is a star of women's CB football, is Georgia Bykov, and to see her start that play, taking the ball away from Takamura down in her defensive third, and then working the ball forward to tuck that one away quite convincingly. It's really, really good to see from Georgia. We really needed her to step up today.
22nd goal for the Paramatildas. And that number is amazing in itself, given it's only her 11th cap. Looking to turn provider, Anne-Marie Duarati, it's blocked away. She picks it back up, Australia's number 8. Looks right for Talia Blanchard, who rolled it in. But down to save Miyabi Hamada. We'll then try and help it away, only as far as Blanchard. Duarati forward of the ball. Arriving Christodoulou. Back with Talia Blanchard, who looks central for Christodoulou. Back for Bykov! Who fired wide.
Let's go, Aussies, let's go! Let's go, Aussies, let's go! Let's go,
Australian crowd lifting again, and you just wonder how much of a buzz that has on the players. It will be likely the largest crowd that some of these players have played in front of, and they are rising to the occasion as such. Takamura, Blanchard away, Christodoulou. Takamura providing the press and doing well to win Japan a throw. Takamura throwing it towards the middle. Blanchard couldn't complete the clearance. Bykov helped out in the end. The tackle by Blanchard. Anne-Marie Duriarty away. Christodoulou up with her. That's where the ball goes. It was played behind her. And a rare misfire for Anne-Marie Duriarty, who has it back. Anne-Marie Duriarty shot blocked. Takamura carrying it clear. Blanchard has it back for Australia. Left it for Christodoulou. Wasn't immediately aware. Caitlin Smith will watch it run. Christodoulou back for Anne-Marie Duriarty. Oates looking to help away. Duriarty getting the ball could go out of play, and eventually the pressure told. Bykov in from the side. Duriarty for Talia Blanchard. Knocked away by Ota. And if you're Yukio Jinmat, the head coach of the Japan team, what are you doing differently to try and get your way back into this one?
God, Ollie, I think I'm trying to play through Takamura as much as I possibly can here. Certainly looking to be settled on the ball at the back, really looking to build through the thirds of the pitch. But I think Japan's best chance here is going to come from Takamura. You saw her just before playing a very effective pressing game, maybe looking for a mistake at the back. Those seem to be where the chances are coming for the Japanese. So I think really looking to emphasise those moments of play and really just hope that they can hit one home.
Bykov had a hit. To play for a goal kick, and if you're Australia on the flip side, are you going for more? I think Kelly Sturton, that's the only way her team's play, isn't it?
Ollie, I think you've got to go for more. I think 2-0's it's a convincing win, but it's not necessarily a safe lead, particularly in CP football, smaller fields, smaller sided games. The momentum of a game can shift in a matter of minutes. So I don't think the girls are going to be feeling comfortable at 2-0. I think they're going to be certainly looking for more goals, and I think at this stage it's probably most likely to come through Anne-Marie Duriarty and Georgia Bykov.
Australia leading by 2-0 as Blanchard flicked on, but only into the middle. Those goals coming from Nicole Christodoulou and Georgia Bykov. One in the first half and one in the second. Sees Australia with a commanding lead, but not an unassailable one. Kuroki into the middle. Christodoulou letting it go away for a goal kick. Australia, by the way, have never had a 2-goal lead and lost it when the Paramatildas have been involved. They lost a 1-goal lead against the USA and Japan earlier in the tournament. When they've led by 2, they have not lost. Ota That strike the arm of Bykov. Whereabouts was it? Looks like it was outside the box. And from an Australian point of view, it's the right side of the line.
God, Ollie, we're very, very fortunate there. Perhaps Georgia Bykov even fortunate not to pick up a yellow card for such a blatant handball. Let's hope we can defend this one.
Saki Kuroki and Mayota over the ball. It will be Kuroki who sent it wide. Had a bit of curl on it, but the curl was too late. Blanchard across the face, Ota in, and Ota firing wide. A massive opportunity for Japan falls by the wayside. Out of nothing, the Paramatildas almost handing Japan a route back in, and that goes to exactly what you're saying, Matt. Paramatildas not all the way there yet, and that's just why.
And I think, Ollie, we were pretty fortunate to get away with that one there. You saw from Talia Blanchard there, a similar thing happened with the previous goal kick, just playing the ball into the centre of the park, and no green and gold shirts around to pick it up. I think we escaped easy there.
And that's the thing with 2-goal leads. If it's halved to 1, then the side that have just scored believe like they didn't before, and more often than not take the momentum and run with it. But luckily, from a Paramatilda's point of view, Mayota fired wide, and of all the players for Japan you'd want that ball to fall to, if you're of a Japan persuasion, it was Mayota, who couldn't quite apply the finishing touch. Anne-Marie Duarati and Blanchard played forward, broke for Bykov, who took it down and will take it on. Georgia Bykov! Saved by the goalkeeper. Georgia Bykov wanting a push, nothing doing from the officials.
Let's go, Paramatildas!
Christodoulou looking for Anne-Marie Duarati. She was annoyed with herself there, Nicole Christodoulou. But Duarati won it back. Christodoulou still forward. Blanchard helping out. Over towards the Australia left. Bykov. Forward for Anne-Marie Duarati, who looked to have a hit. It was well wide. Australia have got all their substitutes warming up. Just to repeat those: Carly Salmon, Karina Gregorian, Tamsin Colley, Eloise Northern, Ray Anderson. All could be required. None up to now as Duarati blocks the clearance. And Nicole Christodoulou unable to make Japan pay. It was a similar scenario to what Australia were faced with defending a moment ago with the errant Blanchard pass. On neither occasion did the attacking team capitalise as it gets through to Mayota. Great sliding challenge from Talia Blanchard as the shot comes in, but it's wide of Caitlin Smith's top right. Long by Caitlin Smith up towards Duarati. Christodoulou infield shooting, and it was a rather tame effort in the end. Still Australia 2, Japan 0. 12.5 minutes or so to play. Bouncing ball over the top of Caitlin Smith. Bykov just making sure. And in cerebral palsy football, Matt, goals can happen out of nothing just like that, as both sets of players are called for a drinks break.
They absolutely can, Ollie, and they can come thick and fast. And we've seen earlier on Caitlin Smith trying her luck from her own goal kicks, from free kicks from distance. We've seen it from Connor Bunce in the men's team. Goals can come from anywhere in the park with players of supreme skill and ability. Yeah, really fortunate for us that that ball didn't bounce the wrong way, and unfortunate for the Japanese that it didn't quite bounce for them either.
And now, as both players receive some final words of instruction before the coaches can't really do anything after that. Usually it's the phrase, once you step beyond the white line. Of course, it's the blue line tonight, but the same sentiment still applies. Australia almost there. They've got 11.5 minutes plus stoppage time to see out. As we see a picture of the Japanese men's players who have a game themselves tomorrow against Thailand, but I don't think that's at the front of anyone's minds at the moment with this engrossing women's final going on. A final that Australia leads. The number 1 ranked side in the world in the women's rankings, looking to become officially the number 1 side in the Asia-Oceania region. As they now break from their respective groups and head back out onto the main pitch. And Caitlin Smith will have the goal kick. I know we spoke off there, Matt, at half-time about the nerves. Are they feeling any better at the moment?
They're doing all right, Ollie. Obviously, 10 minutes to go now until full time. I'd love to see our girls get another one. A 3-0 lead.
Could be a 3-0 lead. Anne-Marie Duriarty presented with a perfect chance after a wonderful Caitlin Smith goal kick. You almost spoke it into existence.
3-0 lead's much more settling than a 2-0 lead, Ollie. I'd really love to see Anne-Marie Duriarty get one as well. She certainly has earned it today with her play.
Blanchard, first time. That one out to play for a goal kick. Less than 10 minutes of the 50 left. Final game of the women's competition. The Japanese play out from the back. And Marie Duriarty almost catching them cold. Blanchard looking forward for Christodoulou. Held out of play for an Australia ball in. And you just wonder whether Japan would be better served sending it long, as there'll be a double change here for Australia. And Nicole Christodoulou will walk off to a hero's ovation. It was her goal that put Australia in front. As Nicole and Kelly Sturton embrace, the second change will take place. Anne-Marie Duriarty won't get her goal. But coming on to replace her is someone who has scored in a tournament final before in last year's World Cup final, Eloise Northam.
Also coming off number 8, Anne-Marie Duriarty, being replaced by number 7, Eloise Northam.
And while she may not have a goal to show for it, Anne-Marie Duriarty, she has played a wonderful game tonight for Australia.
She certainly has, Ollie, and as you mentioned before, just 15 years of age, a current and future star for the Paramatildas moving forward, and it seems as though this team is only trending in the right direction, if you can do when you've come second at a World Cup. Big things from her to come in future.
Northam in a bit of space. Eloise Northam looking for the corner. Able to make the save, Hamada. A star of the future, a star of the present, Anne-Marie Duriarty. And if you're facing her across the rest of her career, I wish you all the best of luck. Sent long from Hamada, backpedaling Caitlin Smith, who kept it out in front of her. How many times have we seen the ball bobble over the goalkeeper's head? Didn't on that occasion. Salmon in the number 1 outfield, looking for Blanchard. Ota stepping in, back with Carly Salmon, who couldn't quite keep it alive. Australia still have to be careful, still have to be wary. A goal quickly here for Japan, and they'll believe that they can go on to at least force extra time from there. Blanchard looking for Salmon, who will try and retrieve it, but she's unable to do so. Northam for Blanchard in space. Oh, towards the right-hand side, Kylie Salmon, bike off to seal it. Couldn't wrap her foot around it. And that would have been a very fitting way for Australia to wrap up the championships. Foul by Northam. Takamura brought down, whose influence in this game has been quelled in this second half. With players like that, we've seen with Georgia Bykov, she's not had her best game, but it only needs a moment for these players to make something happen. Bykov did earlier on with a massive goal, and Takamura has the chance to, right at the goal mouth, as one of Ota or Kuroki will send this one in. Looks like it will be left for Mayota, who'll roll it short for Kuroki. I will get through to Kaiga. Take it away, Georgia Bykov. Salmon couldn't latch on. Bykov away again. Well played from Georgia Bykov on the Australia left. Her crossing is blocked. Once, then twice. Takamura on the break. Two Australian defenders back. Takamura by herself. Salmon across. And she surely fouls Ota. Play goes on anyway, and that's definitely a foul from Eloise Northam on Ayumi Takamura. Looked like the first one should have been a free kick. Second one, absolutely no doubt about it. And it'll be a chance from range for Japan, but not before there's a bit of treatment administered for Ayumi Takamura, and if she is forced to be withdrawn here, Japan's chances of getting back into this game will drop, and that is only a testament to Ayumi Takamura and how good she's been tonight, Matt.
Oh, she's been fantastic. You mentioned before that she hasn't quite been as prolific in this second half as she was in the first period. She's certainly unfortunate to be goalless still in this game. And yeah, if she leaves the pitch here for Japan, it'll certainly be a big blow to them in this last 5 minutes or so plus stoppage time. You'd think if there was a goal to come on the Japanese side that it would come through her.
The only outfield substitute for Japan is Rie Ishihara, only 19 years of age. Won't turn 20 until next July. And it looks as though she'll be introduced here, Rie Ishihara. The bib has come off. And you'd think that would spell the end of the evening for Ayumi Takamura, and this is an awful way for her tournament to end. She's been dazzling tonight for the Japanese side, and she's finding it hard to put weight on both of her feet. And rightly, she's applauded off. So often we see players put the whole team on their back and inspire them to a result. Doesn't look like that'll be the case tonight, but it looks as though Takamura will continue as Ishihara starts to put the bib back on. Meanwhile, a free kick for Mayota to take. Driven into the wall, Blanchard blocking it away. Here's Kuroki, she slips. Ota closely opposed to by Carly Salmon. Ota again against Blanchard. Takamura picking up the pieces. She's absolutely fine. Northam played out of play. Australia goal kick. And precious seconds off the clock from both Japanese point of view as they try and get back into the game. An Australian point of view as well as they try and seal it. Northam switches the play for Georgia Bykoff on the Australia left. Moves away from Kyger. Georgia Bykoff into the box! Straight to the goalkeeper. And Kelly Sturton knows at the bottom of your picture that would have done it.
Yeah, what a sealed it for us here. Really good play. Great ball from Eloise Northam over to Georgia Bykoff on that left-hand side. Really unfortunate not to have picked up another goal there. Incredible performance tonight from the Japanese goalkeeper Hamada, it must be said as well.
Yep. Georgia Bykoff may well be listening to this broadcast at the moment because as soon as I said she's not at her best game, she's found another gear. And as hard as Miyabi Hamada has tried, and she's tried very, very hard, it looks as though her efforts will be in vain. Smith up and over halfway towards Carly Salmon. It's out of play for another Australia ball in. We're into the final minute of the 50. Thrown in towards Salmon. Stepping in and helping it away, Yumi Takamura. Kept alive by Salmon. Kuroki with a challenge. Takamura in behind the Australian defence. Ayumi Takamura. Northam getting back, who provided a crucial challenge to thwart the advances of Ayumi Takamura as Talia Blanchard is down and in visible pain. And these are rather harrowing scenes. Talia Blanchard, who has played so much football for Australia, now back on her feet, with tears streaming from her eyes. Is she able to continue? That'll be the question. Looks like she's okay for now. 3 minutes added on at the end of the 50. Blanchard back on the ball again. Across for Northam. Bykoff. Over towards the right-hand side. Carly Salmon.
For Australia. She wears the number 3, Talia Blanchard.
And Talia Blanchard, the player of the match. And it's fair to say that everybody who started tonight for Australia could have had that award. Perhaps aside from Caitlin Smith, who hasn't had a whole lot to do but was good in the first half, mind. But it's all about the team. The team have been incredible, but Talia Blanchard will have the individual award. Karina Gregorian set to come on. Bykoff, 1-2 with Salmon. Georgia Bykoff! That would have been a great way to crown the championships on home soil. And Talia Blanchard, the player of the match, will come off here. Karina Gregorian on for her 7th cap. And she will get experience in a major tournament final. Kuroki towards Ota, looking to turn it around the corner. Ball out of play. Australia are on the verge, and when that final whistle goes, just listen to how loud this place will be. Northam. Can Australia find a third? Here's Bykoff. Into the area, Georgia Bykoff, palmed away by Hamada. Salmon can't quite scramble it home. Bykoff, Northam, blocks and eventually helps clear. Australia so close to a third. They couldn't quite find it. home soil for the very first time. The Para Matildas are the toast of a nation. The best team in the world are now officially the best team in the region. And at the shiny new facilities of the home of the Matildas, the Para Matildas will have a shiny new trophy. An Australian team winning a regional tournament on home soil for the first time in 8 years. There were celebrations when Ange Postecoglou's men that night won the Asian Cup in Sydney, and there'll be celebrations here tonight in Bundoora and beyond as Kelly Sturton's Para Matildas complete the job and win the Women's Asia-Oceania Championships in 2023. And Matt, I'm sure, through the screens into many living rooms around this country, the feeling of this win is absolutely tangible, and it's a privilege to be here to have witnessed it.
God, Ollie, absolutely. Just seeing the reaction from this crowd when the final whistle blew, seeing what it means to all the girls down in the park as well. It's absolutely massive for us. A home tournament win for us, incredible. The girls absolutely deserve it. They're a class act, and they have been ever since they burst on the scene at the World Cup in Spain last year. I think for all of us going into this tournament, Australia were probably the favourites to win, and they'll certainly be relieved to have done it and to have officially claimed the title of the best team in the Asia-Oceania region. They absolutely deserve it, and they certainly deserve to be very, very proud of themselves and proud of the way they played tonight as well.
Japan's players devastated. Mayota sitting down on the ground. Miyabi Hamada in tears. They both tried so hard, as did the rest of the Japan team. They couldn't quite get the job done. And Australia are officially the best team in the region. Goals in the end for Nicole Christodoulou and Georgia Bykov see them over the line, the Para Matildas. And Australia again sees one of its teams win a regional tournament right in front of watching Australian eyes. It's hard not to get emotional. It's hard not to get emotional. As Australia, in scenes reminiscent of the Matildas at the Women's World Cup, get in a huddle and the celebrations will follow. Cue the song back up again, if you must. Down Under will ring around again, around the home of the Matildas. And I reckon it'll be playing plenty of times before this Friday night is done with. We'll get to hear from plenty of the Australian camp in just a moment, as the presentations will take place just before that. And it's a tournament that for Kelly Sturton, they zeroed in on this one, not only because it was on home soil, but because they were always seen as the most likely side to triumph. And triumph they have. The Australian players applauded off. And they'll enjoy this, they'll never be able to forget this. To Carly Salmon, to Nicole Christodoulou, to Talia Blanchard, to Karina Gregorian, to Tamsin Colley, to Caitlin Smith, to Eloise Northam, to Anne-Marie Duriati, to Ray Anderson, and to Georgia Bykov. You will be forever the squad that brought the Para Matildas their first ever major trophy. As we get ready for the presentation, we'll go down to the main pitch right now.
With player of the match, Talia Blanchard. Talia, congratulations. How does it feel to be Asia-Oceania champions?
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. It's just the most incredible feeling. I can't believe that it's actually real. This is something that we've worked so hard for. I'm so unbelievably proud of all of the girls. It's amazing.
And the scenes at the end all together as one, and the sort of passion and love you have for each other is just overwhelming, isn't it, really?
Oh, these girls, they're absolutely everything to me. They are my family, and it's just so awesome to get to share this moment with them. It's just so awesome.
And what about the support you've got from other parts of the football community in Australia and overseas? It's been quite overwhelming, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a lot. Everything from shout out to my local club back on the Central Coast in Canwell, but all the way through to some of these girls from Japan are the reasons why myself and even others on our team got involved in this sport. And just thank you to everyone for watching us, for supporting us. It's just been the most amazing tournament.
And a final question, Talia. Very close in the World Cup, the first ever Women's World Cup last year. You took the United States to extra time, and now a trophy of your own. It must feel great.
Yeah, I think having that loss in the World Cup final last year really made us so hungry to get to experience what it feels like to lift a trophy. So to now get to do it here is unbelievable, and I know that it's just made everyone even more excited to then lift to the next World Cup.
Good on you. Everybody's so proud. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That was player of the match in the final, Talia Blanchard, who will have 2 medals around her neck. By the end of the presentations, some performance it was, Matt, and we were sort of debating who we thought the player of the match would be, and you can't count Talia Blanchard out. She was incredible yet again for Australia.
Absolutely, Ollie. Talia really, really personifies the heart and soul of this team. Absolutely, like a character that you want out there on the pitch.
And absolutely, as we can hear from Nicole Christodoulou, Australia's first goal scorer tonight.
With Nicole Christodoulou. Nicole, you've got your family here and a big clan too. How special is this for you?
It's so special for me. My family hasn't seen me play for Australia yet, so today is their first time, and for me to score the first goal of the night, it's unbelievable. And Japan is a tough team, so to get that in tonight in front of my family is just the most amazing feeling. I'm so happy.
I bet you are. And you know what? You took the goal superbly, and it needed to be scored at that point because Japan were really pushing, weren't they?
They were actually pushing. It's the longest time we've taken to score against Japan. So they're getting there. They've slated us hard. So yeah.
Tell us a bit about these girls and what they mean to you and the team, the emotion of winning a major championship.
These girls are my family. They're my family away from home. You know, we've experienced similar things in our life. We understand each other and how our limbs function and what we have to go through every day. So to be able to experience this together with them and to be able to travel to countries and go into camps with them, it just means everything.
Yeah, and the camaraderie with the other teams too, quite amazing, isn't it? The appreciation of the difficulties all the players have had to go through.
Yeah, so we're quite close to all the players off the field, but on the field we're opponents, so we have to keep our heads screwed on and just try our hardest for our country.
How does it feel? World number one, you pushed the United States last year in the World Cup, and now you're Asia-Oceania champions.
It's the best. Who doesn't love being world number one? You told me.
Good on you, Nicole.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Australia's Nicole Christodoulou, whose goal was so crucial in the first half. It set Australia away, and it was a goal that really lifted the mood around here at the home of the Matildas, as you'd expect with Australia scoring, but they scored at a really, really crucial time.
They really did, Ollie, and for us to sort of debate where the first goal would come from, we threw some names out there. Nicole Christodoulou was not one of those, and incredible to see her get that recognition in front of all her family who are here supporting her, and all of the Paramatildas fans. She absolutely lifted the roof off the place.
And we said it was one of the most euphoric moments of tournaments that we've seen, and it's hard to argue with that. It was absolutely incredible, and I think that might have been the second loudest roar of the night. And number one was the roar at the final whistle.
Absolutely, Ollie. Certainly a well-deserved win from the girls.
As we will again wait on standby for the presentation. But the Paramatildas, if you have just joined us, have won by 2-0 over Japan and are regional champions. And you'd think they'd have a fair go at taking the world on when they're next tasked with the challenge. They fell just short in Salou last year, as we will now go down to the main pitch for the presentation.
IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships trophy presentation. Today, we gather here to celebrate the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and sheer determination from these incredible athletes. It's an honour to stand here today as we recognise and reward the exceptional talent and sportsmanship displayed throughout this entire tournament. Before we begin the official presentation, let us please take a moment to acknowledge the collective effort that has brought us to this exciting juncture. From the players who have poured their hearts and souls into each and every match, to the coaches who have guided them with expertise, and you, our amazing fans who have shown the most unwavering support, this has truly been a remarkable journey. Can you please put your hands together for everyone involved, our players, our coaches, our officials, and you, the fans. To assist with tonight's presentation, please join us in welcoming the head of member federations and community, Will Hasty, the CEO of IFCPF, Sam Turner, and our mascot, Zara. To begin our presentations, we would like to first thank and bring forward our IFCPF officials, tournament classifiers, and referees. Our referees will receive their medals very shortly. It's only fitting that we take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to our officials who have all played a pivotal role in ensuring the fair play and integrity of the football matches on display. They are our silent guardians of the field, often working tirelessly behind the scenes to enforce the rules and maintain the spirit of competition. Your dedication to upholding the principles of sportsmanship, fairness, and respect for our game is truly commendable. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for our 2023 officials? We now invite forward our referees for tonight. Referees Kit Heet Chund and Akmal Rahimov. Tonight's fourth official, Mark Sayer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, throughout this tournament we have seen unbelievable displays of athleticism, sportsmanship, commitment and years of training. Some individual performances have stood out above the rest, and we'd now like to acknowledge those achievements. To assist in our presentation of our individual awards for the 2023 IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships, can you please make welcome Will Hasty, Head of Member Federations and Community at Football Australia. The winner of the tournament's Golden Glove is from Australia, Caitlin Smith. The winner of the tournament's Golden Boot with 5 goals is also from Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for Georgia Bykov? And our final individual award is our player of the tournament. Once again, this player is from Australia. She wears the number 2. Can you please put your hands together for Nicole Christodoulou? Ladies and gentlemen, our runners-up Japan this evening have shown us that their tournament placing is a testament to their skill, determination and unwavering spirit. Just before we welcome Japan forward, can you please put your hands together for our runners-up in 2023? We now like to present our individual medals to our runners-up Japan. Number 3, Miyabi Hamada. Number 2, Mai Otta. Number 4, Saki Kuroki. Number 5, Mayuko Kaiga. Number 6, Ayumi Takamura. Number 1, Masami Ryochi. And number 7, Ri Ishihara. Head coach of Japan, Yukio Jin. Assistant coach, Shino Onedera. Team doctor, Yasumasa Moimoi. Team physio, Sayuri Kokura. And team manager, Iyoko Jin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now without further ado, can you please make some noise for our tournament champions, Australia? As each player makes their way to the stage tonight, can you please fill the air with thunderous applause to honour these incredible athletes, our champions for 2023, our Combank Para Matildas, the Golden Glove winner, number 6, Caitlin Smith. Number 2, our player of the tournament, Nicole Christodoulou. Number 3, tonight's player of the match, Talia Blanchard. Number 8, Anne-Marie Di Uriati. Number 10, our tournament Golden Boot winner, Georgia Bykov. Number 1, Carly Salmon. Number 4, Karina Gregorian. Number 5, Tamsin Colley. Number 7, Eloise Northam. And number 9, Ray Anderson. Head coach of our Combank Paratillies, Kelly Sturton. Assistant coach, Charlotte Ursel. Goalkeeper coach, Kim Schaefer. Team physio, Carla Hertz. And our team doctor, Karen Sue. We now invite our captain and coach of our Combank Paramatildas to come forward and receive our Champions Trophy for our 2023 IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships.
At the gate, ready to congratulate the girls when they're done celebrating, and they certainly have earned to take their time with that celebration. This is incredible. This is incredible, and I can't wait to come back and do it all again with you tomorrow night for the men's.
Of course we will. 2 games tomorrow, but for now let's just enjoy this. And of course, it's Queen that rings around. Bundura, the home of the Matildas, and it's absolutely undisputed who the queens of the IFCPF Women's Asia-Oceania Championship champions are. And the whole squad was read out before, but why not do it again? Carly Salmon, number 1. Nicole Christodoulou, number 2, the player of the tournament. Talia Blanchard, the player of the final, number 3. Karina Gregorian, the late substitute, number 4. Tamsin Colley, who made her Paramatildas debut during the tournament, number 5. Goalkeeper of the tournament, the Golden Glove winner, Caitlin Smith, number 6. The late substitute and leader in that Paramatildas setup, Eloise Northam, number 7. The young starlet who is taking on all before them, number 8, Anne-Marie Durati. The experienced head who helped the Paramatildas through and even had a stint in goal earlier on in the tournament, number 9, Ray Anderson. And the Golden Boot winner, number 10, Georgia Bykoff. They are your Paramatildas squad who will accept the adulation of all fans in attendance and all supporters across the country who couldn't get here tonight. And if you couldn't get here, hopefully the broadcast on SBS did it justice. It's been absolutely wonderful to be a part of, and I tell you what, never before has that been more true than right now, Matt.
This is just the best, Ollie. This is the best. I have few other words to say. I'm relishing in this. I'm so proud of the girls. Just seeing what this means to them down there, seeing what this means to everyone in the stadium. This is incredible. This is incredible.
As all of the squad will get their photos and a chance to lift it. There's Karina Gregorian. In fact, Anne-Marie Durati, Karina Gregorian right next to her. Handed over to Nicole Christodoulou. I think I had it right the first time, but it doesn't matter, they'll all lift it. They'll all lift it.
They'll all lift it. They'll all
Nicole
kiss it, Ollie.
Christodoulou, there we go. And what a moment for these players. There are a few players in world football anywhere who get the chance to lift a trophy they've won on home soil. And these Paratillies players get that chance and will forever remember it. And the one thing I want to go back to from that presentation, Nicole Christodoulou, the player of the tournament, the shock on her face, I don't know if you got it, if you caught it, Matt, was absolutely unbelievable. As soon as she heard the number 2, she was gobsmacked and it could have been her, but fully deserved from an Australia star.
I certainly did catch it, Ollie, and it speaks volumes to the type of player that Nicole Christodoulou is. So humble, works so hard. You absolutely cannot argue that she doesn't deserve the accolades. And wonderful to see her get that recognition as well. Obviously the first goal tonight really making a mark on the game and really making a mark on her team throughout this entire tournament, and will continue to do so in future ones, I'm sure.
And so I'm sure they'll pop the champagne, or in Anne-Marie Duriarty's case, maybe the non-alcoholic grape juice. It'll be flowing tonight, whatever the choice of beverage is, in and around the Para-Matildas camp. And in terms of the Australia fans as well, they have a right to celebrate too. They've been there with the Para-Matildas right from the first whistle of the tournament, and about 30 seconds later when Georgia Bykov crashed the first goal of the tournament home, right to the final whistle, where they supported Kelly Sturton's team right to the end of the tournament. And a lot of those fans down below us celebrating as such. As we see Japan get a photo, and what a tournament for them as well. They pushed Australia quite a fair bit in both the last 2 games. They led at half-time in the last group stage game they played, and in the final they had a really good first half and were very unlucky not to be in front at half-time. And while Australia will celebrate, a word on Japan and how good they've been.
Ollie, very impressive Japanese side out here tonight. Obviously a number of real standout performers tonight and throughout the tournament. They can absolutely be proud of themselves and look to build on this performance and really see what sort of a splash they can make on the world of women's CP football. The program, both on the women's side and on the men's side, continuing to grow in leaps and bounds, and so I'll be really excited to keep an eye on them moving forward.
Absolutely, and we'll get plenty of chances to watch them play. They finished 3rd at the most recent Women's World Cup. Australia 2nd and the US 1st, so a couple of absolute powerhouses ahead of them. But I tell you what, the people of Japan can be very proud of what this team have been able to show up and produce in this tournament, really. As the Australian players have a bit of fun with the streamers. A few streamer angels. Georgia Bykov just rolling around and having an absolute whirl of a time. She's taking it all with her. There'll be no left for anybody else. I'm not sure she's too bothered.
Put it on the front page of tomorrow's paper, Ollie.
I'm sure they'll be put in the papers somewhere. And if we've got any editors listening, slap it on the front page of whatever your chosen newspaper is, because that's what these Para-Matildas girls deserve. They deserve all the credit. And what a touching moment over right on the fence. It's a medal presentation that won't quite get all the adulation of the one before. But Tamsin Colley has gone over to the side, as has Ray Anderson. And Ray Anderson has given her medal to who I can only presume is a family member. I won't assume exactly who it is, but Ray Anderson straight over to give the medal to presumably one of her biggest supporters across the journey. as all the Paramatildas players, apart from Talia Blanchard, have made their way over to the fence. Talia Blanchard, meanwhile, is getting photos with all of the Japanese players, which is absolutely incredible to see. And it just shows that no matter if you win or lose, there is always sporting moments to be had. And I think Talia Blanchard, not only within her own team, but also across the game, epitomises that to a T. There's Anne-Marie Fiorati getting photos with the fans. And there is Talia Blanchard with Mayota and Miyabi Hamada. She's not choosing to indulge in celebrations with anyone of an Australian contingent, but that is so beautiful to see arm in arm, Japanese players and Australian players. Ray Anderson's gone over, and that is absolutely wonderful.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, Ollie. It's the women's game, the women's CP football game is still so young and still has so far to come. To see it at such a high standard this early on is incredible, and the standard is only going to continue to lift as the teams already in it recognise the need for pushing each other along and motivating each other, and ultimate sportsmanship down there on the ground is incredible to see as well.
And that's the thing, there's plenty of countries who have men's CP programs or women's CP programs that with investment could find themselves right at the top of the game, and this is why you put money into a program like this. Australia have done it, Japan have done it, and it's getting rewarded here. And you just wonder where the game will be in 5 or 10 years, when people might look back at this tournament and say, oh, we were there to watch Australia defeat Japan and see some wonderful CP football and some wonderful embraces like what we're seeing on the pictures now. But we may well see a number of other nations go, I want a piece of this, and go from there. That is the best thing for me, that this game will continue to grow and prosper. And when that's considered, there is absolutely nothing that can go against that. All players not named Nicole Christodoulou, who is speaking to the media now, are over there in one. As the Nicole Christodoulou interview wraps up, we will... who triumphed over Japan by 2-0, and with that the 2023 Women's IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships conclude, and what a tournament it was. We've seen Australia, the Paramatildas, play on home soil for the first time. We've seen Japan play some wonderful football. We've seen Nepal make their tournament debut and score the first goal. And Matt, as we bid farewell to this wonderful tournament with 2 games in the men's competition to go as well, we couldn't really have asked for much more, could we?
Absolutely not, Ollie. we can ask for a little bit more tomorrow night. We can ask for a win for the Pararoos, but to this point, this tournament has been incredible to see the level of play, to see the support from the fans and the crowd. Not only from the home crowd as well, to see a lot of other teams' support systems making their way over, making the journey across. It's been really incredible to see, and we hope for another great turnout tomorrow.
And so, if we look forward tomorrow, as we now well might, there's 2 games to go in the men's competition. The 3rd place playoff, it'll take place between Thailand and Japan, will kick off from 4 p.m. And then the men's final to complete all of the action from the IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships between Australia and Iran will take place from 7 p.m. And if you aren't doing anything within the region of Bundoora, maybe the city of Whistleseat, and even wider the city of Melbourne, get yourself down. Tickets are still available over on Ticketek, and we want to see this grandstand full. The Iranian fans have been wonderful across the tournament, and they will come in their numbers. And Australian fans, you may as well join them. We want this grandstand full, Matt, because there's not much better in sport than a full grandstand, and when the noise got loud tonight, it was absolutely unbelievable, and we want the same again tomorrow. But from Day 7 of the 2023 IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships, the one game, a massive one. Australia defeat Japan by 2-0, and the Para Matildas are regional champions for the first time. From Matt Hearn, from myself, Oliver Walkerfield, from the rest of the SBS and Sportscast group, we will bid you farewell for the evening. Enjoy the rest of your night, particularly if you are of an Australian persuasion. Take care, stay safe, bye for now, and see you for 4 o'clock tomorrow.